Hello and welcome, guys. Recently, I ran into issues with string concatenations at my job, which were almost causing our backends to run out of memory. So we have a microservice that is responsible for generating PDF reports. And to do that, we first need to build HTML from different parts. Like in the example here, right, we're just concatenating strings, and then we are essentially converting this HTML to PDF. And since we have a ton of business rules, we split this HTML into different parts, and depending on the business rules and requirements, right, we were just joining them. And we had a period when users were generating reports at the same time, like they have in the end of the week, they generate all of them like PDF reports for whatever reasons, right? And this was causing essentially like our API almost to run out of memory. And obviously we were not using this HTML, we were using a different one, right? We didn't split onto these tiny parts. We had like a larger chunks and then we were joining them. But nevertheless, this will show the problem. And I want to show you how we can quickly fix it without changing the architecture completely, because there is a very quick fix. And I wanted to share it with you because I feel like this is something that can be asked on an interview. And also I wanted to show you how we can see memory improvements very quickly just by using testing.B. So let's create a simple test that will concatenate all these strings, right, by going through the slice. So let's create a strings test.go. This will be package main. We'll create function benchmark str concat, something like that. And here we will create a loop, I think just a regular loop. And we will use b.n that we will inject into it. And what we will do, we will create some kind of result. This will be an empty string, and we will range over our HTML parts. Here will be our h, and we will just write result plus equals h. Pretty much that's it, right? And then we will just say that this will be equal to result. This is the entire thing, right? Let's add here b report allocations, and let's add in makefile test strings tests with str concat, something like this, and we will snatch the string and add it like so. And let's reduce the number of iterations because I ran into issues with that already before. So let's run test concat, and as you can see, we are getting 2200 nanoseconds per operations and 3600 bytes per operations, which is still fine. But let's add some custom metrics so we can clearly see how much megabytes we are using. So let's create something like before after. We will add our custom metric. So we will use runtime dot memstats, and here we will remove this allocations. We will just use our custom metric runtime read memory stats into before, and we will do the same one for after. And we will print here b report allocations. This will be, I think, float 64, and we will say after we will take total allocations minus before total allocations, and we will place it in the brackets and divide it by 1024 by 1024, and this will be essentially megabytes, right? And in here we need to say like MB total, right? So what's the issue? Too many arguments. All right. Let me just dot mem. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Too many brackets. So what's the problem? Not report allocations, report metric, like this. All right. So our test is ready. Let's run it one more time. All right. So as you can see, now we are allocating 3 megabytes in total, which is not that much. But what if we have not 100 iterations? And this test is essentially simulated, right? Each iteration of this array is one user sending a request. So let's assume we received 100 requests and we are generating 100 reports. But let's assume we are generating 1,000 reports, which was absolutely realistic in my example. So we're using already 34 megabytes, but just maybe you're not going to have that many requests, but we were having them. But actually, we can have even more requests, right? For 10,000 requests, we were using 345 megabytes, which is already quite a lot. And obviously, this is just a dummy HTML here, right? We had a different HTML, so the usage was way higher already at 1,000 requests. But nevertheless, let's assume we have 10,000 requests. There's the simple string concatenation already using 300 megabytes, which is, I would say, quite a lot. So what is the issue with the strings? The problem is that every time we are doing this kind of concatenation, we are creating new strings because strings are immutable. So every time we are adding new string, right, we are actually creating new string, right? We are not growing the existing string, but we are making a new string. So we are making a ton of basically same data in our memory, right? So the old string is there, but now we have a new string plus this additional part. So can we do something better? Well, obviously, yes. We will use something called strings.Builder. It's already built into golang. Let me just rewrite code quickly. str.Builder. So instead of this part, we will say var string builder. It will be strings.Builder. And here we will say that sb write string, and we'll write our h, and yeah, just here will be sb, I think, string. Yeah, like so. All right, let's run this test and see the difference. And actually, let me add here also b.report allocations, and here as well, so we can see how many allocations are happening. Obviously, we are taking mem stats, and this is another allocation, but nevertheless, we will see the differences between them. All right, let me copy this part. Builder, like so. Okay, so let's run the concat. As you can see, we're having 336,000 bytes per operation, 48 allocations per operation. Right, and if we will do now with a string builder, as you can see, the results are like 10 times lower, right? For the same amount of operations. So what is the difference? How is string builder so much better? The difference is that, let's have a look into strings.Builder and what it is. So we are appending into b.buff, we are appending our string, right? Let's have a look at our builder itself. So as you can see here, we have an address, just a pointer, and essentially here we have a buffer with bytes. So we are having a single buffer, right? One allocation, and then we are appending into this buffer. Instead of creating copies every single time, right? We are just appending new bytes into buffer instead of that. And this is way more efficient. As you can see, right, from the results, we already essentially getting 10x on memory. However, we can do even better since we are, as I just showed you, that we are appending to a buffer, right? And buffer needs to, it's a slice of bytes and it needs to grow. Right? Can we do it straight away a larger buffer? Well, yeah, we can measure the length of our final HTML, right? We can get the final result somehow for us and just grow our buffer straight away. So let me show you the example, builder grow, and let's name this one builder don't grow. And we will say here that we will, somewhere in here, that we will range of our HTML parts. And let's say we will have some kind of total, which will be 0, and total will be plus equals length of h. And this will work for us because h, length of string, will be result in bytes. Let me just show it to you. This is another like gotcha. Let me just show you. I have somewhere, yeah, I have Chinese letters in here. So as you can see, I have two Chinese symbols. I don't know how they called. As we will say it like this, right? So if we will fmt println length of s, right? As you can see, this is 1, 2, right? So this is 2 characters. In JavaScript, I think the length of this will be 2, but in Golang, let me just copy this. Actually, right, we're getting 6 because each of those symbols requires 3 bytes. So this is 3 plus 3. So length of a string is represented in bytes. Right? So this is just another thing that might be asked on the interview. Be aware of that. Right, now let's, we have our total, and we will just say that in here as b dot grow, we will grow to a total, right? So we straight away created a larger buffer specifically for our HTML size. And yeah, actually should have added to makefile straight away. Let's copy this, builder grow, builder no grow, and here we'll add no grow like this. All right, let's test them out one more time against one another. All right, so here we're getting same results, right? Nothing changed. And then grow. Now we're getting just 13 megabytes in total, right? Which is incredible. And now we're having just one allocation, right? Because we allocated for this large buffer and that's it. And quite amazing, right? So we are essentially getting, I don't know, from 345 to 13. Let's say it's almost 30x. And the final thing I wanted to show you, I think we won't be able to do any more optimizations from at least what I know. However, what I was thinking about that HTML parts, right, we are ranging over strings. What if we, on upstart, right, we will convert this into bytes? Because right now we are writing string, right? And string, since our buffer is bytes, then we need to convert string to bytes. So why do it every single time, right? This is like an extra operation, but turns out, so I've read from golang documentation that actually this is not what's happening under the hood. I will leave you a link to this article, right, that it describes that actually we are doing something like meme copy. So this is what's happening under the hood. We are just copying the bytes. So double conversions are not happening. So I tested it out and it didn't give any differences. And essentially this might be even an overhead. And this is pretty much everything I wanted to show you in this video. And just as a conclusion, should we use strings.Builder all the time for strings concatenation? Well, no, right? Because if we have tiny strings, we are not doing that very often. We can just concatenate them like so, or use sprintf or whatever, fmt, print whatever. But if you are doing something like we are doing, right, when we are doing HTML and we had like huge chunks of HTML and doing this quite often, right, we had like a period of hot periods, right, when users were generating all of them like HTML reports at the same time in the end of the week. So our app was almost crashing. And by using just Builder, we were able to get like almost 30x, which is quite amazing. And using testing.B, we can quickly see the results. Alrighty, now it's all from this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff. But most of all, thank you once again for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.